职业永远不会。啊，那倒是。是你知道最近在讲国内说不让边训练老师开始滚动，我搞的就是我半天上午，我这程度差的。
Today we are streaming, and well, I'm streaming, and you are watching from New York State, 50 miles away from New York. You can get here by train. Train station is right there. It's called Beacon Station. Ticket here costs approximately $20 each way, or $17, a little more. And we will be taking that boat ferry to abandoned castle. Hello, Nibu. Hello, Neil. Good to see you. Hi, Kevin. I'm Don. I don't see Anton just yet, but I'm sure he will be joining soon. Alright, we were to depart a few minutes ago, but we are running a little late. I think the boat takes approximately 30 minutes to get to that castle. I went there once I did actually a lot of travel during COVID, and it was the best time because of no people, and plus it was cheaper, much cheaper, everything. So now we will be departing soon. Hi, John. I'm not sure why it's taking so long, but let me just show you what is on the other side. So people are ready. There are life jackets, and we're ready to go. It's a beautiful day in New York today. It will be raining later, but finally spring/summer is here, so it's perfect. And it's like a countryside of New York. It's is it upstate? Yeah, it's closer to Albany, which is the state, the capital of New York. Each state in America has its own capital. For New York, it's Albany. So we are closer to Albany now. Come on, why does it take so long?
Sunday afternoon. How many calls? Is that parties at 4? Party at 4 or 5?
Oh, people are running late. I'm surprised they're actually waiting for them. But maybe the train was late. But usually we don't wait for people if they're late, or they lose their seat. And that's why they tell people to come here, even though the tour was supposed to start at 12:30. People are told to be here no later than at 12. But that's nice of them to wait. Hello, Senator. Hi, Alex.
We usually time out exactly on time.
Well, the tour itself was pretty long. I'm being waited, so I don't appreciate people being late. Oh, come on. Get on board already. Also, since you guys selected Abandoned Castle, we are going to say Abandoned Castle right now, but next time I now have Supercard, so if any of you want to thank me for what I show or contribute to like paying for places where I visit just for the stream, because as I said to you before, I've been to most of these places. Everything I am showing you, it's not the first time I'm here, so if you want to send a super heart, you are more than welcome to do that. That's kind of like that's motivating, and that's showing not only your appreciation but also helps me pay for things which I visit just to show you on the stream. So this is actually Hudson River.
So let's talk about some safety stuff. In the front there's a fire station.
That's so annoying, so now they're speaking about safety.
In the back, so don't be a surprise.
Yeah.
We have these things called personal protection devices. You are greater than 90 pounds.
It's a little annoying when people are late. And you didn't even say sorry.
Here, when we approach not, please be seated. We're going to be heading south. Exactly. can probably make it in about 12 minutes, wide open throttle, but then we get there early and have to sit. So what we usually do is on the way down, we should probably talk to you guys a little bit, point out some cool things that you can see on the river. When we get there, please take everything off with you. Don't leave anything on the boat. The other people that were here before definitely look a little shifty, so we don't leave anything on. But just make sure you take everything. It's carry on, carry out. So if you have any garbage or anything, there's something on the island. There's some garbage out there, so you can use that. So now let's get on the way. Ready, boys?
All right, I think we're ready to go. Oh, that's a train approaching the station. That's the train that is going to New York. To New York City.
Hold on. You got POP news.
Finally, with a delay of 10 minutes. Because of ungrateful people, but we are leaving. And we have the best crime scenes. Because we're at the very front of the boat, and the castle will be on our side. And of course, beautiful views. If you guys are in New York, or if you are visiting New York, I recommend that you take this tour. It's seasonal. It's between May and I believe maybe November, definitely October, and it costs approximately $50. That's yet another reason why I said about super cards, which is very helpful to me. And you can be actually the first one to use the super card, whoever will do that. So $50, and it's definitely worth visiting because it's abandoned, it's different, it's a nice walk, I would say, in the river. And this castle will not exist for a long time. It used to be abandoned, now then they restored it, no one lives there. You can get there by tour like this or by kayak. If you have your own kayak, it takes a little long to get there, but it's worth it. This castle will not be restored. So whatever you will see there today, the walls of the castle and whatever is left of it, one day it will be either washed by the waters of Hudson River or some hurricane or something else, but it won't stay there even until the end of our lives. And you can see the beautiful views of the Hudson River. Alright, we are going. Great weather, yes. Today later it will be raining, but now it's a beautiful day. Not so far from here, there is also a military base, military school rather, called West Point. It's also located along this Hudson River. And when you take a train here, which is better than taking a car, you actually see it on passing. We'll be turning and going left now. So I think he mentioned that it's a 14 minutes by boat, but I think it's more like a 30-minute trip by boat. I will show you only the way of going there so that you know what to expect. And I recommend that if you are in New York and if you come to visit this castle, Nibu, thank you so much. You are the best. You are the first one to do this. You are the best. Thank you. So if you guys are in New York or if you are visiting New York, it's best to come here in October because, as you see, there are a lot of mountains here, and when the mountains change, when the trees on the mountains change colors, it looks spectacular. And the best time to visit is sunset. There are several tours during the day. One is, oh Kevin, thank you so much. You guys are the best. I think that they're giving a tour as well, but I will tell you about, I'll probably give you more information than these tour guides. So yeah, the best time to visit it, there are several tours during the day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, 12:30, then there is another one at 3 p.m. and I believe that's the last one. Maybe there's one more in the summer. So the one which is the latest one in summer/fall. That's the best one to see sunset with fall or autumn foliage. Let me get my credit card trick, really? So this city is called Beacon, New York, almost like bacon. And I actually just had breakfast with bacon. I never eat breakfast. The only time I can have breakfast is when I travel. And even though it's like a one-day trip, I still consider this traveling. So I just had eggs with, and whenever you order some food in America, it always comes with bacon in the morning. Hello. Thank you so much, Kevin. I appreciate it greatly, and I do remember each one of you who has contributed. And by contribution, I mean comments, likes, and super hearts. Thank you very much.
So that was the beginning of the settler history here, and throughout that
We're going
time,
pretty slowly.
there was commerce from New York City to Albany.
Yesterday I saw that the stream which I was doing was not as popular. That's why I will post a shorts of this video. So that was a blessing of bikes. Let me just tell you as we're approaching this before we get to the castle about blessing of bikes and why it actually took place and where. So it was in Harlem. It's called Morningside Heights. It's located above Central Park. So the Central Park starts on the level of 59th Street, and the church where blessing of bikes took place, it's located, it's called St. John's Divine Church, and it's the biggest church in New York, at least, maybe in the whole United States of America. It's the size of 2 stadiums, so imagine the size of it. And it is so huge that there were so many bikes that could get inside the church. And today there is a 5-borough bike tour. It's one of the 2 major bike tours in New York, the most significant one in New York City, more than the other one, which is more like an international thing. This is just a New York one. It runs, as you can, it starts with Manhattan, then it goes to Bronx, Brooklyn, then again Manhattan, and then it ends in the last borough, which is called Staten Island. It starts at 7:30 in the morning, and it lasts until it ends at 5:30 or whenever people get back, or 5 p.m. Yeah, so it's like anyone can participate. So it's not just professionals, but whoever pays to participate in this tour. There are different packages, including VIP package, and depending on if you're into bikes, if you buy tickets in advance, then they cost cheaper, of course, than it's like travel, it's like tickets for airplanes, for example, then they're cheaper than tickets which are bought just several months before the tour. You can never guess with weather, but today weather was perfect. Just until Friday we had kind of like chilly weather, but today is the best. Probably not for bikes, but still nice. So before bike tour, every year, and this time it was the 25th time, there is something called blessing of bikes, but it's not blessing of just bikes. Sometimes people take scooters and other means of transportation that have wheels, and can be taken inside the church. What I liked about that event yesterday, first of all, it's service. It's like a regular service in a church, but specifically about bikes, related to bikes. And the priest has a great sense of humor, and he said that I'm not blessing your bikes, I'm blessing you, because it won't be like with a magical stick that you just put in the air and your bike is blessed. No, it's inside you. It's not about one day, it's about believing, it's about more than just one event, one day in the church that will make a whole difference. So the priest was really, really good. And then after that event, at the end, the priest went and put saint water on people with bikes, and at that point, bikers were, like people on bicycles were not honking but making the sound with their bikes, which was amazing. Very positive energy. Everyone was great. It's allowed to take photos. It's allowed to take videos. That's why I will share them with you. And when people were out, some of them had like only one wheel, so people were doing some tricks, and I will show you that. And also some man made a bike that had 2 floors, and he was riding that bike too. Luckily, I took that all on video, and I will be sharing this with you. Hi Maria, this is Hudson River. Yes. The water was probably very beautiful here when all the trees are yellow and red. Correct. Look at the scenery. Scenery is amazing. There are so many things I want to share with you. Unfortunately, not too much time to stream, and sometimes weather, like whenever I can stream, weather is not the best, but I try my best to stream at least once a week, sometimes twice, and show you something what you don't normally see on other channels. Watching my TV, it's better, really. Nice. Fishing is allowed in waters of Hudson River. In some places you need to have license. In other places, whenever you catch a fish, you have to let it go. And why I'm speaking about fish, because you will see we will be passing some fishermen now. When you go to this place, or if you want to go to even Albany, I recommend, instead of you taking a car, take a train, because the whole road, or almost the whole road, goes along Hudson River. So basically, what we see now, you see all along the train route. And this is something I'm happy to pay taxes for. As long as I know that taxes go towards Metro North, which is the train that takes you here, I'm happy. Because it's convenient, it's great, and it's reliable, unlike subway. These are fishermen. I'm surprised we're going so slowly. I don't even see the castle yet, even though the guy said it takes only 14 minutes to get there. It's taking longer than that. Beautiful view, indeed. So I'm showing you the scenery on the way there. On the way back, I will probably be just filming, maybe for Instagram, which I don't use that too often now, but still, I'll just be enjoying it. But what we're doing now, we're going to the castle, an abandoned castle in the Hudson River that is called Bannerman Castle. Let me speak to you about the castle a little bit. So it's named after the man, a businessman, Bannerman, who became a businessman when he was still a teenager, at the age of 14. He was, after the war, he gathered all the arms that were not used, and he needed some space to store it. That's why in 1900 he purchased an island, Popple Island, I believe it was called, and he made an armory there. Later, the United States actually bought his arms. During different times after the castle was made in the style of a Scottish castle, because his family was from Scotland, and that's why his actual family lives now. He himself is no longer alive, of course, and the family and the island now belongs to the state of New York. It went through several fires, and corrosion and water killed the castle, and the castle was abandoned until just recently, in 1950, I believe, or maybe even later, I actually have to check that. A guy who lives in Beacon, where we started this tour from, decided to make a foundation, gathered enough money to restore the castle and arrange tours to that castle. I think it was in 1990 or something, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it was abandoned in 1950 and it was 50s, and it was restored in 1990. But what is restored? Only the walls and some parts of the buildings were restored. I hope you can hear me. I will show you the size of the boat after I'm done with the story. Hi Rex. But it's so unstable that I don't leave this castle more than 10-15 years until it's gone. So if you're in New York, hurry to visit it. And I'll show you the view now and then the size of the boat. Hi Ruben. And I can already see the castle, so in 5 minutes we'll be there. But maybe it's just me. This boat ride may be taking slightly longer than you would like, but even so, these views and wave sounds are very pleasant. I agree with you, Neil. It's like a very nice journey. Actually, I want to rush it, just for you to see the castle faster for all of you. Weather looks perfect there today, and it really is. I think on tours like this called the 100 Islands Tour. It's close to Canada. How did you like it? Is it worth visiting? I have it on my to-go-to list. Did you like it, Kevin? Woo! I know it's windy, so let's just look at the view and I will be silent for a while until we get to the castle. So it was from the train. I'm like, is that another abandoned building? You can also get here by kayaks, and they have different events, including music events, musical, and it's also all seasonal. There are many American eagles in this area, so if you see a bird, keep an eye on it. It might be an eagle. It's very nice to see it catch fish from the river. I know, Rex. It's because of the speed. Okay, castle. We'll slow down soon. So will the wind. Okay. And I will tell you about what happened in the subway just recently. Yes, Maria. I'm very familiar. Anton. Castle. We'll be getting off soon. Joey, hi.
If you look at that tower there, the navigation tower above the our sign, there's an osprey,
Osprey, yeah.
which is a fisher hawk, and they have a nest on the platform there.
There's a
They come
bird
back
that
every
looks like
year.
an eagle, but it's an osprey. You see, there's just a wall left of this building. So before we get to this island, I'll tell you quickly what happened on subway just recently. So there was a guy who was a homeless, like mental guy, and there are many in New York. So whoever lives in New York knows this as a fact. So whenever people tell me, "Oh, it's like safe and it's so rare," no. Each time you're on a train, there is something like someone mental there, 100%. At least one, probably more people than one. And recently, one of the guys, he was just threatening other people, other passengers, and he was choked to death. That's why there are many protests now in New York City because of that. So this is the abandoned castle called Bannerman Castle. The Bannerman himself was the one who helped with the architecture of the building. As I told you, it's made in a Scottish style, and the fortress around it, well, whatever is in water and a little bit sunk now in some places. Great connection. Well, that's perfect. I'm so happy to hear it. Even though we're probably in the middle of nowhere now. People can get here by kayaks, but it takes a while to get here. Also, There is underwater stream here, which you cannot see because water seems still, but it's not. So there will be a little tour on this island. I will show you this building from close. And again, this used to be an old armory. That belonged to the Bannerman family. So we are parking and then we will go. It definitely looks different. So even compared to 2 years ago when I was here last, well, the only other time, it looks completely different. I believe there is, but more so in water than inside the castle. I do have the best seat. I know where to sit. I know, Maria, it's beautiful. I love all the abandoned buildings. Alright, are you ready? I am. Let's go.
Enjoy it.
He's like saying enjoy it as if he's not taking us back. Like he will. No one lives on this island. Of course. Alright, let's go. It is pretty visible. Life vests. I think I know how to swim, so I don't need one. I don't like guided tours, as a matter of fact, but there is no other choice here. Unless I come here with a kayak. But I think you also have to book it in advance. It says smile, you're on camera, so whenever we pass this stick there, don't forget to smile.
Enjoy your tour. Have fun.
How long are we here on the island?
About an hour and a half.
Thank you. So I'll show you the island. I'll show you. I have enough time to show you this whole castle. I think we might have to follow some tour in the beginning, but then people can just walk around.
Stairs built by the engineering department of West Point cadets a few years ago.
I really like castle building more than what? Sorry, Modi. It's not a castle, it's a fortress. It's a fortress castle. Imagine if there is like something left of the arms and and it was not found and it's still working. Great early birthday present. When is your birthday, Kevin? Go. We are. Yeah, I guess handicaps cannot go here. I wonder if we actually have to follow anyone, if we can just have our own tour. These shoes, they're called Birds. They're the most popular shoes now with people who like comfort. I don't know if they're sold in the rest of the world, but in New York, in America, they're very popular. Alright, so that's the castle. I think there are several groups here. My birthday is on the 27th. Happy early birthday! I'm not sure if I actually be following anyone.
You're gonna start number 2 for us, man. So you're gonna head right.
Do you actually have to be with a tour?
That 10 building there, I'm just gonna see what 27 cents. Good morning, folks. You're gonna head right this way there.
Thank you. Yeah, so they separate people into several groups and they go different directions. So you cannot come close to that castle there. It's closed for reasons that are pretty obvious. Oh my god. This castle used to be twice as big 2 years when I was here. So it's definitely falling apart. So whenever I gave it 15 years, I give it 5, maximum 7. We'll be closer and you'll see more. Hello, still hard.
Please come on up, come on over.
There's a goose, I think we're nesting.
All right.
I wonder if I can come any closer. Yeah, I believe so.
Everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes, front can the back hear me? Hello, I see we have some young, some old, some in between. That's fantastic. Hi, my name is Em. My pronouns are they, them, and I am here to talk to you about Bannerman Estate.
Oh my God.
So just a couple
Listen
of
to the story.
rules, just to get started. We are a New York State park, which means
Congratulations
there are going to
again.
be wild animals, some nature, some poison ivy, and a lot of rocks. We ask that you keep the rocks where they are. The animals are not decoration, and we really don't want anybody trying to fight a mama goose. So, in that sense,
I have good
respect the
shoes
nature
now.
around you. In the sense of the buildings themselves, we do need everybody to stay 500 feet away from the structure, because if you can't tell, those steel beams are there for a reason, which means there's no more monkey climbing on it. Really unfortunate, but if there is a barrier in front of you, we ask that you please respect that. It is there for your protection. It's not there because we're trying to ruin your fun. Last but not least, we do have bathrooms right on over that way. So please feel free to use them. If you are not feeling well at any point, we do have several seating areas that you can take a rest at, or if you need first aid, please let us know. Adam is going to be bringing up the rear, who knows everything and anything. So please don't use words. Please feel free to ask any questions. The only thing is I am not looking to be a viral celebrity. So while pictures are highly encouraged, please do not videotape the entire tour. I definitely do not want to be the authority on Bannerman Estate. So I greatly appreciate that. Does anyone have any questions about the ground rules? Fantastic. Oh, that's great. All right, so we're just going to walk on over this way, so that way then we have some space between the other tour and us.
Oh, let me pretend I don't speak English now. So recording is not allowed, so we have to do it discreetly. And why? That is weird. Right? Let us have everyone pass, and I will try to do it discreetly. If they tell me sorry, then I will have to stop the video. But for now, we're still good to go. Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm sorry, you can also come here by kayak, right?
Yes, we do have kayak tours that you can schedule online. We also have guides.
Okay.
So they work with us, and you can actually have a tour that goes, you kayak from Cornwall to
Mhm.
the island, and then you come on the island and you kayak back.
Okay.
But yeah, you just register with us online, and we can direct you on how to get there.
Got it. And it's also like a guide several weeks in advance?
We encourage booking farther in advance because they do fill up.
Okay. Okay, got it. Thank you.
All right. So, it is about 1:12.
Sorry.
I am going to try to only keep your attention for about 45 minutes, so that way then you have the rest of your time to explore the island, because I know you all did not come here to listen to me talk. But I'm going to give you some information anyways. I will be using note cards because this is my first season here, so thank you all in advance for being my test subjects. So, you obviously see this very rundown building. How old do you all think that this building is, this structure?
125.
250 years? 200?
150.
150? It is
130.
a little over 100 years old. That is
No, it's 120.
Built by Francis Bannerman VI. He was a millionaire, American millionaire, who started his career as a scrap collector and a trader, and eventually was so successful that he
streaming is different than
military
video taking.
items,
Okay,
and
that works.
needed
Ich
a
kann auch
space to
Deutsch.
store it.
Good.
So this was one of his last purchases, and it was the entire island. First, him and his family, as Scottish immigrants, needed to get to America. Francis Bannerman VI was born in 1851 in Dundee, Scotland. His father, Francis Bannerman V, was the one that brought his family on over from Scotland over to America. They shared a studio apartment with the mother, father, and 3 siblings. So they were very poor. They moved to New York in order to get a better opportunity. Unfortunately, like I said, in order to make ends meet, his mother was working as a seamstress, and then in 1861, the Civil War happened, which meant that Francis Bannerman V was no longer able to work because he was fighting in the war. So from 1861 to 1865, Francis Bannerman VI actually worked 3 jobs in order to help support his family. While his mom was working, he was working to also help provide. One of those jobs that he was a provider that he worked while his father was at the war was actually as a scrap collector, because they mainly saw this young, spunky Scottish kid running around town trying to do whatever he could to help support his family, and they gifted him a very old rowboat. A very old rowboat and a hook. So he was able to actually start going into the Hudson River around New York City, going around and pulling up old ropes that he could sell, old metal, old scraps. Money to help support his family school. So during that time, in between gathering scrap, going to scrapyard and selling that, and going to eventually, him and his father started their own scrap making business. Specifically, post-Civil War,
Thanks,
a lot
Nibu.
of
Right, Joey.
post-Civil War, there was a lot of supplies left over because people didn't know when the war was going to end. Everyone was going to be building. There was lots of guns, there was ammunition, there was uniforms, there were pots, pans, there was drums that were all being made in excess, and now there was no war, so they decided. So basically, in the United States, there was army surplus auctions. Down only 2 slices of scrap
You can never guess which weather will be here when you get here, because you have to get ticket at least a week in advance. In summer, even more.
So, because they were so successful, and there were wars going on quite a bit during that time in history, actually was going all around the world, buying and purchasing all of these supplies.
It's not Amtrak.
Patriotic, there were entertainment industries,
Gosh, I forgot
and
the name.
of course there was the everyday layman who said,
Metronos.
yeah, I want a pot for 50 cents instead of 75 cents. So they were very successful through a wide variety of places, so that meant that he had to be going all over the world. It was during one of these trips that he was in Ireland in order to buy ropes, and he mixed some business with pleasure. He actually wound up finding the love of his Helen Boyce in Ireland, and they got married in 1872 with his 1-month trip there. They had 4 children. Their youngest sadly passed away very early on, but their 3 boys all grew up and became successful in their own fields. While he
buildings
and
holding
becoming a huge part of that.
the castle
But
together.
because they had so much surplus, they actually needed to expand, and that is when
It took $1 million
this
to restore that
and
island
began to build that,
by
and
the
that
guys
of 1890.
from Beacon, New York.
In order to sell all of this, because I'm not sure if you've seen this, but this is quite a large building to hold a lot of stuff. Now back then they didn't have cell phones, they didn't have TikTok or Instagram, so how on earth were you going to be able to present the vast array of goods that you had, secondhand goods? So Bannerman decided that he was going to have a catalog. It originally started at 6 pages, but what was very interesting about it was there was art. Now, printing things was very expensive. It also wasn't necessarily yet the advertising height or peak. That wasn't necessarily a career that people did at that time. So what started as a 6-page brochure eventually turned into a 600-page catalog. And what that did was that showed everybody what sold. And the best way to be able to sell all of that is to advertise it. So between the catalog and building these humongous structures, he actually also
Is that a
advertised
part
as
of-
well, slapping his name on the sides of the building. Now this is because if you can see, there's a little bit of a train here, and during the 1880s up to 1910s, that's known as the Gilded Age. So you had a lot of people coming in from the city, traveling. You had a lot of ships that
It's a regular train.
traveled, that people moved supplies, and you had a lot of rich people coming up from the city because it was the thing to own a house along the Hudson. That's why you have a lot of other large mansions in the States all around the Hudson Valley,
I wanna go.
both upper and lower. And Bannerman, as a millionaire, also needed one as well.
We're moving.
So we are going to tour what is now left of his summer residence. As a American millionaire of the age, he also wanted one. So why not build it on his island? And if anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask. If I don't know it, Adam will, but I don't really, but please ask me first.
While doing some video, I don't know if they know that it's live stream or not, but they did see me do it several times, and so far I am good. It's a nice garden here, and beautiful view to Hudson River, right? And imagine this now with fall foliage. This building looks pretty new to me. A pod. I don't think it's a pod wreck. Jump out of the train and all you have to do is click on the like button. And thank you again, Kevin and Nibul. You're very, very kind for giving super hugs. I really appreciate it. And I will, oh, look at the birdie flying. And I will see you during the next stream. Thank you for watching it with me, and have a beautiful day. Bye.